Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to Divine Alignment. This is a new kind of podcast that we are recording today because if you are joining me on the podcast, welcome back. And I'm also recording this for YouTube. So if you are joining from YouTube and seeing me, welcome. I know that I personally love to have the option of either watching a interview or podcast on the computer, seeing the person, or I also love to have the option to just plop my earbuds in and go for a walk. So we're also going to be diving into what is prompting all of this. You guys, there are so many changes. And I'm quite humbled by everything happening. And so this podcast is really going to be just me sharing. I feel like I'm starting over. And I'm kind of nervous. I'm kind of nervous right now, even just like as I'm recording this, because I've never felt this raw, this vulnerable, this stripped down, and just this deep sense of really starting over. So what do I really mean? So I'm going to share with you guys just kind of what's been happening in my life and this really big shift taking place that feels like a huge opportunity for a new beginning. So I know that spirit, the universe, often presents us with opportunities to recreate ourselves and to really create a new identity. And I'm actually just discovering that I'm actually just coming out of my Saturn return. So if you're not familiar, Saturn returns are, I wrote down some notes. They're all about reevaluating who you are, taking stock of your own mortality, is what they say, endings and beginnings, and teaching you the value of everything in your life. So, another reason that this feels like so crazy to be recording right now is that you haven't seen me on Instagram for a while now. And that hasn't been my choosing. I have not been able to post anything on my stories or feed since January 14th. And I remember that date very clearly because that is when Mercury went retrograde. Well, I thought maybe it was just retrograde. Here we are now, and I guess it's still technically the shadow phase of Mercury retrograde, but you guys, I still can't post to Instagram. And I'm going to get into what that has brought up. Much more than I was really anticipating or even could have imagined. But I'll just kind of go down the list. So these are all of the things that have recently happened to me that are like, holy shit, what's happening? I'm literally being asked to completely create myself anew. So my Saturn return, my Instagram, which is my business. I've built my business off of Instagram. I don't want to cry. I had to say goodbye to my cat, our family cat that I've had since third grade. We had him for 20 years. We just put him down. And just collectively, this time of unknown, so much is shifting. There's lots of new energy, and then just relationships in my life. There have been some leaving, some coming, again, deaths, rebirths, and some really just interesting moments happening in my life of having two experiences now of, I guess they're called sneaker waves, coming completely out of the blue and like literally like almost taking me out to sea. And so it's been, and when these things kind of happen, it's like, it really makes you begin to reevaluate your life. As I look at the clock, it is now 11:11. So those are what's happening for me. And I feel like it kind of takes sometimes multiple things to really happen, one after the other, for us to really break. And I've spent so much time in deep contemplation, which also I feel so grateful for all of the tools, friends, resources, spiritual tools, my guides that have been supporting me through this. Because honestly, if I wasn't spiritual, if I just thought all of this was like happening just because, I'd be in a really, really rough place right now. And also, I'm going to talk more about this and what's really like being birthed through this, but Gene Keys has been like incredibly supportive through all of this. And as I'm just like looking at my notes, because I have so much to say, but also like don't know what feels most relevant. But this is going to, I believe there's going to be a lot in this for you, because if you're listening to this, we only draw that which we need into our lives. And so I believe that, I'm sharing, I'm going through this really big death and rebirth, but what I'm really actually coming to learn is every day is an opportunity for rebirthing ourselves. And so I want to really talk about Instagram, because social media, you guys, wow, like, I don't believe we've ever lived in a time where we are so connected, yet so disconnected. Truly. We know these little details going on in some person's life that we have never met. Yet we can spend an entire day in our homes or our apartments without leaving and seeing anyone. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. And so here's the thing about Instagram, you guys. I created my Instagram. People ask me, like, my friends ask me, how did you build this? All of these things. Well, I started Instagram like at the beginning, and it turned into my business by accident, truly by accident. And it was actually like a secret account. This was a secret account. I didn't tell anyone that I was starting this account. And I started Instagram when after I had gotten out of treatment for my eating disorder. I went to inpatient treatment for having an eating disorder. And afterwards, I was just really noticing, I felt like I was kind of just like thrown back into the world, and no one even knew that I went to treatment. I told like two of my friends. I was very like, I was in a really dark place and I didn't want anyone to know. And I completely lost myself in this process of my eating disorder. And I mean, obviously more people came to find out, because I had to leave and all of these things. But I came back and I didn't really know who to talk to. I didn't feel really connected with any therapists, hence why I became a hypnotherapist, because I finally began to see change and transformation through that. But talk therapy just didn't work for me. I went to therapist after therapist, and I just like, I didn't feel comfortable. I didn't feel like I could open up, and I felt really like alone. And so that's why I created my Instagram account, because I was able to finally see other people in recovery. And I was really inspired by that. I was really inspired because none of my other friends are really like into I mean, here's the thing, like I've always been into food, um, and health and wellness, but I took it to an extreme because I was struggling with health issues and it snowballed into an eating disorder. And so as I was in recovery, I created Instagram and it led me to this passion. Like it really like showed me that I could take my passion and love of food and turn it into something that was so scary and awful into like a business and creating food for fun, which is what it birthed into, which then led to me becoming a nutritionist, which then led to me becoming a hypnotherapist, because then I began to see, oh my gosh, like it's not just about the food, it's about our mindset and spirituality, and like there's so much more than just what we eat, right? Like it's so much more. And if you've been listening to this podcast and following me, like I'm sure you've seen this kind of journey of me like just being so in the food, and then I kind of went like the pendulum like swung the completely other direction, and then I was like, oh my gosh, like no, it's literally all about our mindset and our subconscious beliefs. And then as of more recently, I've been coming into this place of like, we need both. We need both. It's the spiritual and it's the physical. And now I'm in this place of, who am I really? What do I really want to be helping people with? And one thing that I that I'm finding myself, I mean, and here's the thing, I don't think I would have asked this question if I wasn't in this place now of not even being able to share. Because here's the thing, we I mean, no, not we. I'm going to speak for myself. I got to a place with my Instagram with the algorithm changing and all of these things that I got really frustrated. I got really frustrated because this business that I started by accident it did really well. I was getting amazing opportunities, working with amazing brands and companies. And then when I really began to, start to do one-on-one work and hypnotherapy and all of this, is when kind of like the algorithm began to shift. So what used to be just like this easy, effortless, like fun, all of a sudden became this saturated platform of the algorithm shifting, and no one really, I mean, I don't want to go into the algorithm, like whatever, it is what it is. And it's not like it was just out to get me or anything. Like I know a lot of people were impacted by it, but when that began to shift and transform, I began to kind of look at Instagram differently, and it became kind of like a burden. Like I have to post because I have to keep my engagement high and all of these things. And it became kind of a chore. And so now that I'm in this place of, I can't even share. I became to come to this place where I'm like, oh my gosh, like I can't even share. I can't even share with this beautiful community that I've cultivated and I've built throughout the years, and I've made so many amazing friends through this platform, and I came to realize like I don't have to share. I don't have to share with these people. I get to share with these people. And it took me not being able to share that I'm now in this place of wanting to share. I want to share, and I miss connecting with these people, with my friends. I mean, it's crazy, and this is what I mean by we're so connected, we're so disconnected, is that I really do feel so grateful because some of my closest friends have come from Instagram, and I feel so grateful for that. I mean, some of the greatest opportunities I've experienced. While simultaneously, I've experienced awful comparison and jealousy and these other things. I mean, I'm not immune to these emotions either. And I know that we all have experienced this with this platform of like, why do they get this opportunity? Why do they get to do this and I don't? And so now that I'm at this place of like, so I don't know. I'm kind of nervous, you guys, sharing all of this. And I don't know if I shared, but so I can't post to my stories or my my main feed. And so my Instagram is kind of just like in this idle place of like I can use my messages, which is very strange, but I can't use my I can't post. And I went through like all of these, like I cleared the cache, cache? I don't know, figured out how to do that, like restarted my phone multiple times. I thought that it was, so this all started, I actually launched a course. This started on, I remember I launched my course on a Monday and this happened on Friday. And again, this is where my audience is. And I wanted to share about my course that I had created, poured my heart and soul into this course, Nutrition for Ascension. And I go to share about my course and it's not letting me. And I thought, okay, maybe it's just today. So on Saturday, I go on. I still can't share anything. Sunday, I go on. I still can't share anything. And at this point, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, like I was going to close the card on Monday. Monday comes, I still can't share anything. And here I had all of these people who were like interested, and now I can't answer their questions. I can't, like, it was just a sign from the universe to like literally just surrender. And so I thought, as days turned into weeks, I thought, okay, I just need to wait till end of Mercury retrograde. And so literally like the day that Mercury retrograde ended, which at the time of this recording was just a few days ago. And it's not, I still can't post. And here it is after the retrograde. I guess we're still in the shadow phase, but I still can't post. And I thought maybe this is just my phone. So I created a test account to just see. And lo and behold, I can upload perfectly to stories and the feed from this other account. And the only thing that I can really think is that I have multiple, if you're on Instagram, you've probably seen, honestly, I've had so many, I don't know if it's one person, if it's multiple people, creating fake accounts of me. And it's really, I know that this is not just happening to me, it's happening to quite a few people, but they're creating fake accounts of me. They, he, she, whoever, I don't know. And reaching out to my followers and offering spiritual readings. And I've had people come to me saying, I bought a spiritual reading from, quote, you, and now I'm out however much amount of money. And they just disappeared. And I can't do anything. I can't do any. I don't know. And the crazy thing is these accounts block me. So I can't even report them as pretending to be me. So I literally have been getting I was getting messages literally every single day from my friends and just followers, like telling me like, I think this person is pretending to be you. And so that's all I can think is that my account is on hold because of all of these fake accounts. I actually even had a police woman reach out to me to verify who I was. that I was actually a real person, because apparently this is like a court case, because there has been so much money exchanged and sent to this person, whoever this person is. And and it's really interesting. I've had this kind of like this whole process of, I've never been mad at this person. It's really interesting with these people. I don't know. I've never been mad at them. I've been annoyed. But a part of me feels a lot of pity, a lot of sadness. And I've shared this on past podcast episodes, as I've gotten to a place after doing so many hypnotherapy sessions and really seeing what people have gone through and go through in their lives, that the worst act, or how do I phrase this, the more intense of an act, or more awful, as we would deem as a society, of an act that a person does, the more amount of sadness I feel for them. And so, like, we think these are terrible people for killing people, murdering, raping, all of these things, but all I can think is, what type of sadness did this person have to feel and experience to come to a place where this felt like their only option? How numb did this person have to feel that this is what they felt like they had to do, to kill someone, to rape someone, to whatever it may be? And so for me, I'm just like, what's going on in this person's life that they feel like this is the only way to make money, or that this feels like a thrill to them to create an imposter account, to pretend to be someone else. And it's really, I mean, I've done energy work on my business, and I've done like all of these things. And, I've come to this place, as it's been like this grieving process of almost like, I send you love to this person. I send you love. And Instagram, like, whoever the forces that run Instagram, like, I send you love, because through all of this, I have come to really deepen. And this sounds crazy. That I realized how much of my identity has been based off of this platform. And through creating so many iterations of myself through this platform, I'm realizing, which who knows if it's my Saturn return, if it's me not being able to use it, whatever it is, I'm now at this place of like, well, who am I? And so as I'm thinking about starting a new account, I'm like, who is Jasmine? What do I want to share? What do I want to share? Who do I want to be? It's terrifying, liberating, exciting. And I'm really continuing to sit with the question of, how can I be of the greatest service to the whole? And this is a question that was proposed by Richard Rudd, who is the creator of Gene Keys, which I want to dive into just like a little bit, because I'm actually currently going through the retreat, Gene Key retreat. It's an online retreat, and it's been 4 months. And I truly believe that this has helped me with this process that I'm in so deeply. I mean, Gene Keys like was transforming my life before the retreat, and now that I'm in this retreat, it's really, really helped me. So we're currently, if you're not, I'm going to put links in the show notes to Gene Keys, if you're not familiar with them. I would say it's human design and Gene Keys have both radically transformed my life. And I would say that human design is kind of like the left brain, like here's your roadmap of who you are, and like you can discover it, like just understanding it. Whereas Gene Keys is like the right brain, like here are your keys and go play with them, learn about yourself through them. These are both so much deeper than Myers-Briggs or any personality test. I really never resonated with those because I have found, especially through discovering I'm a projector in human design, that I'm very good at ebbing and flowing and transforming and being what people need me to be. And that's in my Gene Keys. So anyways, as I'm working through Gene Keys, we're working through the Pearl sequence right now for this retreat. There's the activation sequence, there is the Venus sequence, and there is the Pearl. And as I'm working through the Pearl, it consists of 4 spheres. And so within each sphere, so it's like you enter in your birthday and you get your Gene Keys. Which again, I'm going to put links to, you can go dive in and play for yourself because it's kind of hard to even describe it. I'm going to do a whole podcast on Gene Keys, I think, because there's so much there. It's so rich and such rich, deep, potent wisdom. So in the Pearl sequence, it's your vocation, your culture, your brand, which is also your life's work, and your Pearl. So we have not gotten to the Pearl yet as I'm recording this. I've been working through the other 3. So it's 1 month with each. And I'm just going to share with you guys my keys, because I think that this is how I'm choosing to move forward, by being and expressing these versions of myself. Because I really truly, I feel like I'm rebirthing myself. I feel like so many parts of me are dying. So many parts of my life are dying, but in that, so many parts are being rebirthed. And so every single Gene Key has a shadow, a gift, and a siddhi, and it's SIDDHI. So the shadow is the darkness, where you go in your ego or not when you're at your highest. The gift is what we all aspire to live in. The siddhi is like the enlightened state. So actually, that's what we would all aspire to achieve. And these are the Gene Keys. So every key, there's 64, and you get certain ones for each part of your life's work, all of these things. So my vocation is Gene Key 20, and it is the shadow of superficiality with the gift of self-assurance and present. And the gift is siddhi, or the siddhi, I'm sorry, is presence. So I'm just going to focus on the gift and the siddhi, which is self-assurance and presence. And this is really what I have to offer to the world. This is what I have to offer to the world. And as I really begin to learn these, I cannot tell you how many of my clients, how many of my friends, how many people in my life have shared with me and I've witnessed come into finding their own answers simply by just being in my presence. And I don't say that to brag or anything like that. Like this is my unique gift, is when I am self-assured, when I am in my power, and when I hold my presence. People are led to themselves. People experience who they are. This is part of who I am. This is part of my gift. And some people are very good at listening. Some people are very good at giving and doing and being and all of these things. And we all have gifts. We all do. And I think that learning that when I am just in presence, when I can embrace the present moment, and I can offer someone my presence, they receive transformation. And I've seen it. And I thought for so long, like it was all of these things that I was doing. But my friends, we are coming out of a time of doing, and it is about being. It is about being who we are. That is our gift to the world. And so my culture is Gene Key 64, and the culture is really like how it's our interaction with the world, and or rather how the world interacts with us. And so my gift and my city is imagination and illumination. And so what I see this as is when I offer my self-assurance and presence, I lead others to imagination and illumination. And the most beautiful thing is I in turn receive that back, because as I give my own presence and see and witness other people going through transformation, I too am transformed. Which leads me to my brand, which is also my life's work, which the shadow is purposelessness. The gift is totality, and the city is immortality. I really struggled with this one for a long time, I'm not going to lie. And I feel like I have finally I don't feel like we ever finally get them fully, because there's so many layers to all of it. Like I said, if you feel called, I so encourage you to check them out. But what this key is really about is embracing our darkness. You guys, and what better time in my life to embrace the darkness, to embrace my shadows, to embrace, and they say ultimately, it's embracing our fear of death. Embracing our fear of death. I mean, and we can really distill every fear down to the fear of death. And so for me, my brand, my life's work is to help others embrace. And here's the thing that has been so beautiful to me, you guys, is that I've really been learning just how to be a human, which I'm going to share more on that later, this whole embodiment. But there's some things coming with that. And anyways, though, I'm learning embodiment. How do I be in the world? And I've spent so long, oh my gosh, once I started learning about energy, I started doing cord cutting and cleansing and crystals and doing my selenite, right? Oh my gosh, I always have my crystals. I'm wearing my crystal. Crystals are always going to be part of my life. And you can probably even see my Palo Santo and my sage. These tools are going to always be part of my life. But I have gotten to a place now where I'm realizing it's not always about just releasing energy. It's about embracing it too. It's about embracing our fears. And once I got to a place with my Instagram, with losing my sweet dear kitty, having these things that happen in my life that I've had no control over, and that I've felt so many of these things have felt, losing relationships, they felt like rock bottoms, really hard. And to embrace them. It's about embracing our demons. It's about embracing the darkest aspects of us so that we can alchemize this energy. And in turn, we transmute it. And so that's what I'm leaning into now. This is what I feel I have to offer. And this is what I feel I have to create in the world, is creating myself through birthing myself in every present moment, to discovering who I am, because I believe in me, offering my presence and discovering who I am. I set out this energy, this potent force field that allows you to do the same. And I invite you to do the same. And again, you don't have to wait till your Saturn return. You can do this every day. You can do this every moment to create yourself. And I realized that I was living in the projection of what I believed other people saw of me. My parents, my followers on Instagram, my friends, the people who I live by, my neighbors, all of these people who I thought that they saw me as is who I was living into. And I'm coming to a place now of, who do I want to live into? Who am I? Who am I? And it's so funny because this, I feel like, a spiritual question that so many people ask, who am I? It has so much greater depth and weight to me right now. Who am I? As I come to see and realize I am a child of the universe, of God, spirit, source. And my channeling, communicating with my guides has increased a ton. And I really would love to share more of that. I've met new guides that I, even just saying that, they're telling me that, yes, they want to share more with you. And there's a lot here that I'm excited to share with you all. And I'm excited to, I mean, if you're listening to this, just thank you. Truly thank you from the bottom of my heart for being on this journey with me, for showing up, for your presence, for offering your presence right here in this moment, to listening to this, to watching this. Because in doing this, we discover ourselves. And, you know, as I think of all of these things that have really challenged me, I'm just excited to see where we go from here. Where do we go from here? Where do we go? And, you know, I think a lot of people in the new year get really excited about creating themselves anew. But you can do this every day. You can do this every day and every moment. And you know what I also want to really add is, what this has also brought up for me is really moving away from doing things how I've always done them to doing things in this new energy. Which also, oh my gosh, that's another thing I didn't even share. My health too. Like, that has been another huge breaking point through all of this, because our bodies are just a physical representation of what is going on in our lives. And so, oh my gosh, my body, my poor sweet body, I have come into this deep sacred communion of trying to learn this body that I have been blessed with. It hasn't been functioning at its optimal, and I realized so deeply that it is just a representation of all that I am going through. And so honoring my body and what she's going through, because my body is just talking to me, just like the universe is talking to me, just like every person in my life. And so that's also been another breaking point of like, I thought I dealt with this. I thought I dealt with this, right? And there's layers. And I'm seeing it now, like I get the opportunity to heal my body, to start anew, to co-create with the universe, with God, spirit, source. And that we all get to discover ourselves through this journey. So here we are. So I feel like there's so much more I could say, so much more I want to say. But all that I feel I need to say in this moment is just thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you again for your presence. Thank you for being on this journey with me. Thank you for this commitment to your growth, because when you grow, we all grow. And so with that, my loves, I am sending you all infinite love and light.